Okay, welcome guys to another Zenstream. Now, if I'm looking a little bit like a robot today, it's because I've twisted my neck. So it's giving me a lot of pain, so I can't turn too much. So I might be spinning on my chair for today's session, okay? Just so you know. Now, lucky for you guys, I recorded the content before, so I could go in the, actually run it out to you guys. So, what are we looking at today? Well, we are looking at media creation, and in particular we're looking at Instagram, but the same principles and practices can be used for any of the social platforms. You know, if you know the spec, if you know the time limits on videos and things like that, then it's not a problem. You can use what you're doing here for Instagram exactly the same for the other media channels. Okay, so bear that in mind. Now, the size that we're looking at here is going to be the portrait. So it's going to be 1080 by 1920. It's basically high HD flipped 90 degrees. Okay, so it's easy to remember. It's probably the most important number to remember because that size can be used in various places inside the Zenler platform itself. So it's a really cool number, 1080, 1920, 1920, 1080. Just remember that number. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be throwing a little bit of a challenge in. I'm going to be, after the first presentation, I'm going to be giving you half an hour to actually do it, to actually try and come up with an Instagram reel, okay? An Instagram reel, and that's what we're looking at. We're going to create video, and we're going to do that directly in Canva, and then after you've had a chance to do that, I'm going to give you access to a drive folder. So if you do get to manage to create something, you can drop it into the drive folder, have a look at it, and if it's good, we'll use it for our socials on Zenler, and we'll also tag you in, and we'll also put a link to your site. So for you, it's going to be a really good thing. So you guys that have joined us, if you drop messages in the chat, I'm going to be, because I've got recorded content, I can actually just chat to you guys whilst the presentation's on. So if you've got any questions or any of those sort of things, it's really easy, guys. It's really easy. You might think we're going to produce today. We're going to produce a Instagram reel, but not just an Instagram reel. We're going to produce an Instagram reel that actually fits into the square format. Okay, so this is really important, the way it looks on your Instagram feed. Instagram in particular, and I've chosen Instagram because it crops it to a square, even the videos that you're doing, and the way that it looks is going to attract people to click on it. Okay, so I've done hundreds of these in the past few months as we started to roll out Instagram channel out, and so has the rest of the team. They're producing some as well to put in. So we're using these same practices ourselves, so you guys can actually learn from us as we're doing it and producing this stuff and getting the results that we want, okay, to expand. So not only are we going to do an Instagram reel, we're also going to put a backing track behind it, and we're going to put a vocal on it as well, and we're going to have some transitions, okay, so full animation. Not only that, is we're going to produce a square Instagram story or carousel. So you can actually put the carousels in there. You can actually put each image in series. So we're actually going to produce that as well. Now, this is not a particularly long run time on this Zenstream. The first part you're going to look at is about half an hour, and then after that it's relatively quickly, you know. So you can drop comments in the chat if you're watching on replay, hashtag replay, or hashtag Zenler replay, or hashtag Zenler Zenstream replay, or ZZR. That sounds good. I think it's a motorbike. Okay, right, we digress. So we are going to get in with the recording. I can see that we've got some people on the channel already, and like I said, I'll be monitoring the chat for any of you guys that are in. I had a little bit on the Facebook. I had a little bit of a problem because I actually did it for 3 a.m. this morning. I forgot to do it for 1500 hours. I just clicked the 3 and it was 3 a.m. so I had to change it this morning. So I wasn't up, but 3 a.m. So guys, enjoy the first part of the recording. It's about half an hour long. Then we're going to stop. I'm going to ask you if you want to do it. If you don't want to do it, I'm going to jump straight into recording too. Okay. If you haven't got time to do it today, or just the majority of people don't want to take part in a challenge, I'm going to be running lots of challenges into this stuff. in future Zenstreams, and there will be prizes going with them as well. So I'll still give you the link, even if you want to do it afterwards. I'll open that Dropbox link, or it's a drive link, for about 24 hours, and then I'll close the drive off, and then if there's anything in there, we might use it, and you never know, you might win something. So let's see. So recorded content part 1, all about creating Instagram reel using Canva. And I want to make a point here, it's using the free version of Canva, okay? I'm always trying to use the free version in case you haven't upgraded to the pro version or premium version of Canva. Canva's a really good program for people to be able to put things together quite quickly, and you don't need to have a lot of technical experience. You know, it's not like Photoshop or any of InDesign or any of those sort of programs that require a little bit of more knowledge, you know. So Canva's really good for throwing things together quite quickly, and you can do some pretty amazing things, as you will see. So let's roll on with it. Let's go to Instagram Reels and creating them inside Canva. As a bonus, we're going to use ChatGPT to generate our ideas. Let's do this. Alright guys, let's have a little bit of fun on this Zenstream. So what we're going to do is we're going to generate some ideas for a social media campaign, and then I'm going to show you using Canva how you can create some social posts going through. I'm also going to show you a little tip that can help you to create media that's going to be able to be reused on different social sites. So today guys, we're going to be focusing on Instagram and Instagram Reels, and also an Instagram post as well, maybe as a carousel or a series of images. So this is all we're going to do, but there's going to be a difference here. This training is going to take you through some ideas, and you might already have some ideas. We're going to use ChatGPT just to generate some ideas. This is just to get you flowing if you haven't got any ideas to come up with, and then we're actually going to create posts from that using Canva. Okay, so generally when I work, I use Photoshop and I use Camtasia to put my socials together. So I thought this would be quite a nice one to actually try this inside Canva itself. So let's begin to get some ideas. So I'm going to base this, because I'm going to use this as well on my social media. So I'm going to actually generate some ideas for some course creation, and I'm going to pick sort of maybe 3 tips. Now we need to be aware of social platform specifications, such as the size of Instagram Reels, and we need to also think about how that's going to be resized in the platform as well. Plus we need to know, if we're creating an Instagram Reel, the specifications for like how long it can be and all these sort of things, which can change. So I'm going to give you, it might not be relevant if you're watching this in 3 months time or a year's time, so you need to check that these specs are correct at the time, but you can do a quick Google search. I'm not going to just come out with the numbers now. I'm going to take you through the whole process so that you guys can do the same thing for the different social platforms as well. So let's first of all say that we want 3 tips for something. Okay, let's just say 3 tips for marketing. Okay, so let's go and put inside ChatGPT, give me 3 top tips for marketing my online course, which is about course creation. Okay, so obviously you will be putting inside this area here and here your own niche. Okay, so this is a small little prompt that you could take, and we're going to just see what it generates. So give me 3 top tips for marketing my online course, which is about course creation. Let's click this and see what's generated. So we have a lot of information coming up here, but we can pick these tips and use the rest maybe in the post. So let's have a look at these tips. So identify your target audience, always an initial tip. So build an engaging landing page in which to send them to, okay? And we can send them to that from our social post if we wanted to. And you want to leverage content marketing. So content marketing is a powerful strategy to attract and engage your target audience, which is what we're doing. We're creating these socials, yeah, to share or put into blog posts, video podcasts, or create infographics from it. So from here, this are 2 tips that we could use for this, but you might have some different ones that you want to put in there. So I'm going to try something now. I'm going to go from the content above, create 3 impactful slide graphic text for Instagram. So it should give us, we're hoping it's going to give us some short answers here. So let's just go and hit this and see what it generates for us. Okay, so look, so it hasn't done exactly what we want to do, but it's transform your ideas into profitable courses. It's giving you actually images that maybe that you should use, and establish yourself as an expert. So leverage the content market. It doesn't really line up with this. So ChatGPT is good, but it sometimes swerves off the ball a little bit. So maybe more of a solid description in here should be. So let's go and change this. I'm actually going to take this, I'm going to put it in here, and I'm just going to put in here create 3 info text for Instagram, and then I'm going to put based on this, okay? And then I'm going to take this, and hold on a minute, and I'm going to put this down here. And let's specify it. And let's see what it gives us here. So we're using it as a tool to generate these things for us. So let's have a look what it produces for us. Engaging landing page. Yep, this is much better for us. Fuel your success. These are impactful. It's given us some nice graphics to put in, and we've basically now created this in no time at all. We've got lots of information on here, and we've even got building information for content later on for our social post itself. So this is our kind of research side that we're looking at. I would suggest that you go to other Instagram accounts and look what those guys are doing as well, especially the more popular ones. And of course, what you're trying to do here, you want to make sure it's kind of trending as well. But let's move on, because we're all on to media creation. So we've got a target symbol or a group of people to hit your bullseye and your target audience. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create in Canva, I'm going to create my template for this. So inside of here, I'm going to go create design, and I'm going to make sure that under here I go to social media, and I'm looking for Instagram Reels. If you look at the size, 1080 by 1920, this is a mobile format, but I'm going to do something a little different. So we have it as a mobile format. Let's just click that to create this Canva. Here we go, and there we go, we got our lovely graphics. And now I want to just jump into our Instagram account, just show you what's happening with these slides and what you need to do in here to make it that it works nicely. So this is a top tip, okay? If you don't watch anything else with this Zenstream, watch this bit, because it's really, really important. Okay, we're on our Instagram channel now. Now, do you notice that all of our graphics, even though they're square in here, they work beautifully? Okay, so if you look at the actual reel, these are all reels, okay? And we know we created the reel size in Canva and it was 1080 by 1920 high. That's not square. So how did we get this so that these are perfectly situated inside here? Well, if we look at the reels, you'll see that the reels are all in here. And you'll notice that it's bigger. It covers more of an area. And you still got the logo in there and everything looks great. So what we did, if I click one of these, you'll see, let's click this and it'll open. There we go. This is in the 1080 1920, but everything looks good in here. So all we need to do in Canva is make sure the center of the reel has got information on, or showing the info that we want inside here. Okay, so it all fits lovely in position. Okay, this is the main thing. Now some of them, of course, we've got the head of Mammy there. That could have been done better, and she's working on that to improve the way that her social is. Things like Kevin's one there, it's got its head cut off and it's in there. But if you look at my one, and I'm very cautious of these things, everything is perfectly in line. This is Liz one in here as well, works lovely. So we are cautious, you know, we are making sure that the team know these tips that we're sharing as well. But you'll notice that all of them are beautifully all in position, you know. But even if you open it up, you'll see that it's actually changed, and you'll notice that it actually jumps down. So it starts as a square, that first frame, and then it pops up and down, because the first square that we see is what we see under the posts here. Okay, we don't see this. If people jump in here, they see it as we intended, but we want to make sure that it's working across these posts as well, because reels will appear in here under posts. So we need to make sure it all looks good. If I've got nothing in the middle, it would just be blank. So we need to make it sure it's looking good. So this is a really important tip. So I'm going to show you how you can do that in Canva. So let's jump back to our design here, and using the ChatGPT copy, we're actually going to generate a couple of slides going through. You'll notice down the bottom here, because we've created this as an Instagram reel. You remember, we went to create design, we opened the social side up here, and we went down to Instagram Reels. Okay, here. That's how we created it. So inside here we have this animation effects that go on, and we can create and add new pages to this. So let's go to our first slide inside of ChatGPT and look for this. So hit your bullseye, identify your audience. So at the moment I'm putting a copy in there. I'm going to show you how to do it in that square format in a second. So I'm going to go across to the text, and I'm going to go and grab some text like this, and I'm going to put that in there. Now that's going to be too big and I don't like the font. I'm going to be changing this to something like a Poppins, and I'm going to be bringing that size down to something like 36, and let's change this a little bit, drop that line down there, and maybe take this, make it, let's just duplicate this. Hold the Alt key whilst dragging and you'll create a copy. I want to create this in bold here, and I want to get rid of some of this. So we're just going to build this slide up. The first slide is always the most important, because from this point we can remove certain things. We can actually duplicate it and do it on the next slide, so you'll see. Okay, so it's a quick process once we've done it. So I'm going to bring this up in size. I want it to be impactful inside here. Alright, good. So I have this looks nice. I'll make sure it's roughly, I like things to be lining up. I'm just funny that way. Okay, that looks nice. So we got our text in position for our first slide. Okay, so we now need to put our imagery in. So if we look at the imagery, we got a target symbol or a group of people. So let's follow it to the letter. Now normally I would let my creative juices run and do something a little different, but I'm going to follow this to the letter so that you guys can do this all using ChatGPT and you haven't got to be designers in your own head. So let's go into photos here and let's go and choose something like a target. Okay, because it says hit the bullseye. So we got these lovely images going on in here. And I like this one. This is Pro though. Do you notice these are Pro, some of these? And we are using the free version. I've done that on purpose just so that it's so you guys can use your Pro version. That's quite nice, but that's Pro. Lots of them are Pro. Let's go in here and just put the... Oh, it doesn't give me that option. I thought it'd give me the option to choose free. Okay, that's quite nice as well. Oh, I actually like this one. I'm going to come across here. I'm going to put that in there. It looks okay. So when I drop it in, if you notice when I drop it in, if I just go over this, it'll try and make it part of the background. But I'm actually going to detach it from the background, right hand click detach, and I'm actually going to manually put this to the right size. I only do this because I like full control over what I'm doing. Okay, that to me looks better as an image. Okay, I'm right hand clicking and I'm going to go to layers and I'm going to go center back. Alright, so I'm also going to lock this as well. So that looks good. Alright, so we got our text. Our text is black. So I think I want to make it white. That's quite nice. Looks pretty cool. And now we want to find out where our square is in here. Because remember, like I said to you in Instagram, you got this square area in the middle. So I'm going to be finding out where the square is on this slide. So really easy to do this, guys. I'm going to go into elements here and I'm going to go to this one here, lines and shapes, a square. I'm going to drag the square in. Okay, now I'm just going to give this like a orange color and I'm going to drag it until it clicks into the side. Now I'm going to hold the shift key. I'm holding the shift key and I'm going to drag this. So if you don't hold the shift key, it's not going to be a square. Okay, so you want to make sure it's a square. You want to lock it to the side. You want to hold the shift key, keep the shift key pressed, hold that shift key, drag it out till it hits the edge. It will snap, bang. Now we're going to find the middle of the slide. We're going to bring this down. Watch when this little line turns into a crosshair, like this. Okay. You can also align to the center in here. I think I can align it to the center. I haven't tried this before. Middle. There we go. It's gone straight to the middle. This is the center of this square. So this means that anything inside this yellow area, orangey area, will appear in here in Instagram. Okay? So this gives us a reference point to where it goes. Now what I like to do is I like to change the transparency down, or you can go and change the fill color to nothing, and then the outline color you can put into a border weight and make that border color white. So now it's given me exactly where that center. So now I can stretch this out. So I've now got a guide telling me where my center of my area is. So when I upload this to Instagram, it will appear inside here. Now one last thing I want to do is tell people what this is all about. So I'm going to hold that Alt key. Let me do that again. I'm clicking this one. I'm going to hold the Alt key. I'm going to drag it up and I'm holding the Shift to constrain it. Now I'm going to put in here 3 tips for marketing, and I'm going to make that a bit bigger. There we go. And let's go and make this a little bit groovy. I'm going to put this down the bottom here, and I'm going to put a circle into here, and I want that circle, because I've got blue there, I want that circle to be an orangey colour like this. Okay, now I'm going to press the Alt key, hold this, drag it up, click in there, press 1. So this is tip 1. Alright, let's drag that across. There, looks quite nice. Now I want a logo, definitely want my logo in here, so I'm going to go to my uploads. I've already uploaded my logo. I've got it here. I'm going to drag it into here, and I'm going to put it nice and small up the top there like that. Okay. And one last thing, I'm going to come down the bottom, and I'm just going to put a link in here to a page. Which is our link tree page. Let me just show you that page. So in Instagram, in fact all the social medias, I link to this same page. So if we have a look at that page, it's basically a page designed inside Zenler, and it's a quick link, so it goes to all the places, and that's what it goes to. Alright guys, so I want it to stand out a bit, so I'm going to go into elements again. I'm going to choose a little square like this, which I think I'll also make orange. Now this won't show inside the square area, but when they open it up into a reel, it will show. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to move it down now into here. That's good. If it's over the top, just right hand click, just go on this element, go to align and just send to back, or send backwards. Right. So that looks really nice. That's tip 1. Hit the bullseye. Is that clear though? I think I could do with a tint over this image. So I'm going to take another one of these, I'm going to bring it in, and I'm going to put it in the corner here, and I'm going to drag it like this. Okay, now I'm going to change that into black or a very dark blue, and I'm going to put a transparency. That looks nice. Then I'm going to right hand click, I'm going to go layer, send to back. So now it stands out a lot more, and you can adjust that. You know, sometimes it's only a subtle bit, but it just makes a difference. So I've got it on sort of 25. So this is our first slide, created easily. Now we need to remember when we export this out to delete this slide out. I need to be deleting this out because I don't want that block line there. I mean, you might like that block line, but I'm going to delete mine out. But I want to use this as the basis for the rest of the slides. Okay, so what we're going to do is inside here, we're going to duplicate this page. There we go. So now I'm going to move on to that slide, and we can start to change this up a bit. So now I'm going to put number 2. We're going to go back to our ChatGPT, and we're going to say inside here, we're going to take this, copy, back over to this, paste. It's a bit big. I'm going to make it a bit smaller by just using here. When you go from one slide to another, it doesn't really matter too much that you're changing things down. I could make it 2 lines. Let's just make this 2 lines. I'm going to introduce and into here. That looks nice, and I'll move it up. I'm going to take the line spacing here and move it a bit closer. Okay, that looks good. Let's move this down. Let's go and grab the second line here. Jump back. And that looks nice. And what's it telling us for the graphics here? A beautiful designed landing page with a call to action button. I'm sure we can find something for that. So let's go to landing page call to action and see what it gives us. Looks like most of them are paid. Let's just try call to action. Oh, that's quite a good one. Telephone. Let's go in, drag it into here, and I'm right hand clicking and I'm going to replace the background. Okay, remember we still got that graphic on there. We still got that tint, remember that. So that looks quite nice. Okay, so that's our second one. So we've got our first one here, we've got our second one. Now I'm going to duplicate this slide for our third one. Let's duplicate the page. Let's click and make sure that's selected. We're going to go into tip number 3. Let's go back to ChatGPT, see what it's generated. Fuel your success. Make this a bit bigger. Okay. Leverage content marketing strategies. I'll bring it down a little bit here. I want to get it to one line. That looks good. I'm just jumping between the pages just to see that I'm in the right area. Yeah, that all looks good. Okay. So this is tip 3, tip 2, tip 3, and we're going to find something. Fuel your success. What's it telling us in here? Content creation setup with laptop, camera. I think I'm going to go to, I'm going to put fuel in here. Just because it looks a bit better. I would use that if I was on my pro account, but let's go and pick one of these. This is like a fuel thing. Let me see what it looks like. Let's right hand click, replace the background. So yeah, it doesn't really give a good impression, that one. So I'm going to try this one here. Right hand click, replace background. It's a fuel, but it's not. Let's try a fast car, because that gives the impression. Oh, these are nice. They're all pro. That's nice. Oh, that could do. Yeah, let's put that on there and see. Let's go. Yeah, okay, that's good. Right, I don't like the colour of that tint. I'm going to change it to more of a kind of red. This is where you can play around with different colours and see what's going to work for you. I think that's okay, but I'm going to bring it down a bit, just so it's a slight knocking. You still read it clearly, but it's nice, different colour. Got this blue. I might change this to more of a green. Yeah, there we go. So we've got 5 seconds on each of these slides. So I think we can make it quicker. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to make it 2 seconds. Let's put 2 in there. And I'm going to apply it to all pages. Okay, so let's play this and see what happens. So there we go. We got 6 second slide. ready for Instagram. Okay, so I'm going to take this now, and I'm actually going to take the transparency down to 0. The block's still there, but we're just getting rid of it so that it's not visible. So I've got that block. I can bring it back at any stage if I want to, but it won't be processed when I process this video. So let's go here. Let's just check this one. And let's reduce that down. Okay, so there we go. We've got our lovely slides. Everything's going to be perfectly in position, and we're now ready to export this out. Now, of course, we can add more slides if we want to as well. So if you want to add a beginning slide to this, you just come over here and you can add a new slide, duplicate a slide. But we're going to, and in fact, you probably would want to do that. So I'm going to create a duplicate page here on this one, and we're going to go and change this. And I'm going to just make it better. Okay, that looks nice. So I'm going to take both of these. I'm just holding the shift key to select that. Select one, hold the shift key and click the next element. This way you can manipulate both elements at the same time. Now I definitely want to make sure that I'm still in that area. Do you remember? I'm going to make sure I'm still in that square area. So temporarily I'm going to bring back this so I can see where it is. And I'm going to bring this down a little bit here. That looks good. Let me make this bigger. So this is going to be the slide that's actually shown, so I want to make sure it's really nice and bold in here. Let's put down there. Let's hold that Alt key, put a 3 in here. Nice and big. Let's go in here a little bit more. Okay. Going to put this into a black. There you go. It's quite bold, it's quite in your face. It looks quite nice. Let's just put that in there. It fits quite nicely. Yeah, I like it. Good. I'm going to swap that image out. I want something a bit more dynamic. I'm going to choose some animals. Let's choose a dog. Just to get people's attention. Remember, this is the first slide to get people's attention. So I'm going to pick something really cute. Can't really see it that well. I'm going to get rid of this background. Let me just delete this out. I'm going to put this in. I'm going to choose something like this. Okay, let's just send this to back. Now remember, I've got my area. I'm going to change this to a different colour just so that I can see it. Let's change it to a black so I can see where this lines up. Now all I'm doing this for is to get this dog so that he's in the frame me just lock. I'm locking this layer just so I don't touch it. Okay, that looks good. Okay, that looks good. This is the wrong color, but I'm going to just use this block, and I'm actually going to put this block in here and send it to black. So I've just duplicated that block up, and the reason being is that I just want it on the white, so I'm going to send it to back now, and then we got something like that looks quite nice. And in fact, this I'm going to bring up a little bit more, so it's slightly different. So we've got 2 seconds on this, then we're going to hit the tips. And then of course I'd probably set a second slide up here just telling people to click this link for more content, but this is good enough. I think this looks nice. I'm now going to make sure that I take this, I'm going to unlock it here, and I want to go and I want to take that transparency down to 0. Okay, so now we're ready. We've created our social post here. So let me make this a bit bigger just because it will be on the slide for this first one. Okay, that's good. Right, okay, let's export this out now. So I'm going to go to share, I'm going to go to download. It's going to be an MP4. We're going to pick all the pages here because it's just going to produce one MP4 of this in a video format. By the way, guys, I think between there you can actually set the duration in here, and you've seen that you can preview it. But I think there's other animation things that you can do as well. Which is pretty cool. Now I never put animation on the first slide because I want it static, but this one's quite good. You could use something like this in here. So you get this kind of thing happening. So I'll apply that to there on enter. Let's do that on enter. And we're going to do the same here. So this is probably something that you haven't done. You'll need to select across the pieces you want animated, and that's how you can do it. So I can just do a rise or a fade to this one. That's quite good. And again, I'm going to select the items I want to animate, and I go across and I'm going to hit a fade on there. Now we can play it just before we output. We're going to play it 2 seconds, and then you're going to get this stuff come up. Then you're going to get this stuff come up, and finally this stuff come up. So it all looks really nice now, really quickly done inside Canva. So we're going to share this now. We're going to go to download. It's going to be an MP4. We're going to make sure it's all pages, and we're going to click download. And now it will download this as a video file that we can put straight in to any of our Instagram posts. Now if you want to edit this further, there are programs where you can add music and all of these sort of things in here, which you could do. I'm pretty sure that you can add music and things inside here as well, but I just haven't played around with it enough to know. I'm just showing you this as part of the demo. Like I said, I use different tools, but this is just so that you can get stuff done. Alright, so guys, your challenge now, right? I'm going to show you the video once it's downloaded, and I want you to create this. I'm going to give you half an hour. If you have to, do 1 slide, do 2 slides. Go to upload your things inside, here it is here. Upload your videos into the drive folder that I'm giving you. Okay, you've got half an hour. I'm going to pause the video for half an hour, this live, so you can work on this and get it done so we can actually see results, and we might use some of these for our social media. Okay, so be aware that we're using them for our social media, so make them about Zenler. Okay, that's your mission. Make them about Zenler. You can come up with any ideas you like, just make them about Zenler. And then when you finish that, I'm going to show you how you can convert this really quickly into the square type normal image that you do for Instagram. So these square images. So it will be a carousel of images that you can put out there. Okay, so that's what we're going to look at last of all. So you've got half an hour from now to actually go and create something in Canva. Okay, output it, drop it into the drive folder, and we might select all of them. We might select a few of them. It might even be a swag pack for you, people we selected. Please put your name on the file as well, so that we know who it is, and then we can reach out to you. Okay, so let me just show this in folder. So I've got the file in my folder. Let me just flick it up. Here it is on my desktop. Let me just close this. So we have it here. I'm going to hit this and we'll watch it run through. It's going to be a bit quick. Okay, and there, and there, and there, and done. Let's play it again. So really quickly, in half an hour, we've created a template. Now imagine how quick we can create other tips now that we've got that base set up for us. Because remember, we can reuse content and change the design. So guys, over to you now. We're pausing. Half an hour you have to create whatever you can and to put it into the folder that I've dropped into the comments. So as soon as this finishes, that folder will be closed down, okay? So you won't have access to drop anything. So only the guys, you guys that are live with us today will see that, all right? Okay, good luck. See you soon. All right. Okay guys, so hopefully that was exciting for you. I know there's not many people around. It is a Sunday and I'm trying different hours out to see where the most engagement's happening. So it is obviously, hopefully a lot of you will be watching this on the replay, because I think this is a really important one for you guys to see, just because of the reusing the content and the fact that you can create like these videos inside of your inside of Canva to use for social. So Canva can be really powerful like that. Now you guys are going to watch this on the replay hopefully, so I'm going to give you a link to a drive folder. I'm going to put it in there, and if you want to put your content, so you just follow what I did, create your own content for it. Now have a look at it. We might post it on our social, and if we do, reach out for you, get your website address and tag you in on it as well, and it'd be really nice. So you know, originally I was thinking, okay, so you could do it all based around Zenler, but actually, do you know what, just do it on what you sell, do it on what your course is about or your membership, because that way we can write it saying this is one of our members, you know, does, you know, obviously if you're on the Zenler platform then it's a promotion for us anyway, but it's also a big promotion for you, and it gets our feed a little bit more varied, you know. So I'm going to put the drive link into the chat, and you guys in your own time, and this will be open for about 24 hours, 48 hours, and that way we can have a look at it and post and tell you guys, you know, might even be some swag in it for you, you never know. So let me just type this in here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to move on to part 2, and I think this sort of rounds up things for us, because not only does it show you how you can make a little bit more impact with things like Canva, it's by putting soundtracks behind it and even audio straight into it as well. So pretty powerful, and means that also we're going to take it on to the next stage, which is how to just create standard carousel images for you to use in Instagram as well. Now remember at the beginning of this I said to you guys, you know, that you can actually just use these procedures that we're doing here for all of the social platforms. So it's great, you know, and we will move on now to the second part. So guys, this will close probably the end of Monday or Tuesday morning, have a look through it. I might do a special Zen pop-up on people that have done the stuff, so I can show you stuff in there, and then we'll post your, if they're good, you know, hopefully they're good, they're ace, follow the video, you know, then you can use that. Now I was going to put a template in there as well. So I have a Canva template that we used for this, and I'm going to give it to you because I like to give things away for free when we're running these. So let me just put that in there, and you can base it on that if you like then. So it makes it even easier for you. So you've got two things there. One, you can actually put your stuff up there, and one is you can actually take that Canva template and you can use it for all your stuff. Okay, it's all free content, it's all good. That's what Zenstream does. We try and give you free content. Okay, we're going to move on now really quickly. We're going to go into recording session 2, which is about adding audio, vocal track, and creating the carousel images, the flat carousel images. And that's it, then we're finished for today. Now you might be like, oh, but you normally give me tons. The thing is, I've been looking at some of the training and I just put too much in there. It's too much to absorb, so I'm breaking it down into easier to handle digestible chunks, rather than you have to watch it and it being 2-3 hours long, you know. So we're just going to change the structure a bit and see what kind of engagement we get on the smaller chunks rather than huge chunks. You know, we've got time, we can run it over weeks. We run these every week, so it'll either be a Friday, a Saturday or a Sunday. The most engagement we've had so far has been Fridays and Saturdays. Sunday I haven't had a lot, but then I've got this really sore neck. You know, I'm like a robot today, so I didn't have a chance to post more stuff up there telling you about it, but so forgive me. Alright guys, let's move on to recording content 2. Okay, so let's enhance our slides or animation by adding some media inside here. So inside of the videos for the Instagram Reels, in fact anywhere inside Canva where you've got the fact that you can output animation, you can also add audio. So we're going to add a quick audio for this. I'm going to go back to this slide here. Remember, this is 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds. We might want to make this a little bit longer. Like we might want to make it sort of 3 seconds long. I'm not going to apply it to all frames, just this first one. And now I want to grab some nice music to go in the background. So what you can do is you can actually upload any music type as long as it's royalty free, and in this case I'm going to use the audio library from YouTube. So if you go into your studio and you type in media library, you're going to find your audio tracks inside here under your Creator Studio. So I'm going to choose this one here, and I already have it downloaded inside my folder, so I'm actually going to be using that one. So I'm just dragging that onto my desktop on the other screen, and I'm going to add this inside of here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go to upload files, and I'm going to find that file which is on my desktop here, and I can just upload it like so. Let's click open and upload it. Now I've already got mine uploaded under audio, and I'm just going to drag it onto here. So add music. So there it is, there it is there. So I'm going to go into here and I want to adjust the sound level. Let's listen to it. It's too loud. I want to put my voice behind it. So I'm going to select the track here, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to reduce this sound down so it's just very subtle in the background. There we go. So now I'm going to do my voice recording, and I'm just going to be saying what the first slide is. Tips for marketing for course creators. So free tips for marketing for course creators. Okay, so in my desktop I'm going to be loading the recorder in. So if you go to your little search bar, just put voice recorder, and you're going to get your voice recorder come up here, and this is what we're going to use. Okay, so I'm going to click a new one here and I'm going to start recording this. So with my voice recorder open, I'm going to record a track. Let me just get rid of this one just so that I've got nothing in here, and let's record this. Free top tips on marketing for course creators. Let's end it there. and let's rename this in here, free top tips, hit enter, and I want to find the file location, so open file, and I want to throw that onto my desktop. Let's do that now. There it is. Okay, good. Right, let's upload it. 3 top tips, upload. That should upload nicely. It's an M4A file, it's 5 seconds long. I'm going to put that in here. And let's listen to this. 3 top tips on marketing. So I want to make this a bit longer here. I want to bring the end in a little bit and move it here. 3 top tips on marketing for course creation. So I need to make it a bit longer. You can drag that slider. 3 top tips on marketing for course creators. And there we go. So that looks good. So if I need to extend that time, I could put a different time into there. If I want it to be a bit longer, but it seems to be good. So now I have a backing track and I have a vocal. I can now export this again. So I'm going to click download. I've got MP4 and I'm going to click download there. And now I have backing track and I have sound inside of my Instagram reel. So that is how we can just make it even cooler inside of Zenler. Alright, so last thing now is to look at how we can create a square Instagram post from this. So I'm going to go back to our Canva, and inside here I've got this open. Remember, I've got this open here, so let me just close that down so we start in stretch. So I'll click in here, that'll open a new tab. So I've got my beautiful slides in there. I'm going to go back into Canva. I'm going to go create new. I'm going to go down to the social media and I'm going to choose in here Instagram post square, and I'm going to click that. It's going to give me a square Instagram. Now I'm going to come straight into here, go to the first slide, and I'm going to select across all of this. I'm going to press Control C to copy it. Now inside here I'm going to press Control V. That's going to paste it all in position. So it's not exactly right, but we can stretch things and move things to make it look better inside here, which I've done. Okay, and you can just go ahead and just start to play around with this stuff in here. So, but we're creating it very, very quickly. This is the main thing. So I'm going to put that link in there. The dog's quite good. I've got that as a cover on there. That's showing the square thing that we had, but I don't need that. So I'm going to move the dog over here. I'm going to take all this, make it all a bit bigger. So I'm holding the shift key to make that bigger, and I can come in like something like that. So that's the first one done. I'm going to add a new page. I'm going to come into here. I'm going to go to the second slide here, and we're going to select all this, copy. Remember, we've got that dartboard. Control V. Okay, so I've got that dartboard that we used. So I'm going to go back to photographs here, and I should still have that dartboard somewhere along here. There it is. So I can put that in as a background image. Bang, that's in there. And I can start to resize all these things, making them a bit bigger. Okay, now I've got that, I've got my logo up the top there. I think I'm going to take this and I'm going to copy it, and Control V to paste that in position. So there we go. So I can obviously put my tint behind here as well. But I'm going to say I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to duplicate this slide. And I can put my text straight in here if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. I'm going to take all this middle area. We're going to come back to here, go to our next slide. paste that in. Don't need the top logo. Need the telephone. I'm going to grab this telephone image. We're going to make this bigger. Don't need this. So you can see really quickly we're starting to get our slides back. That's good. I'm leaving them ones in. So I'm now going to the last bit here. I'm going to copy this, copy, Control V, paste that in. That looks nice. And then I can throw my tints behind it if I want to bring it out. So I'm going to go into here. Send it to the back. Change this for that bluey type colour that I had. Take this down. I'm going to copy this, coming down there, Control V, paste it. Hold on. Copy, get that page up, Control V, paste it. I want to choose something like that. I'm going to send that to back, right hand click, layer, send to back. Down to the last slide. Now this slide had a different picture, it was the fast car, so I'm going to swap that out. Control V to paste that back in there. This was a red, so I'm going to pick a red. I think I want it as a darker red than that. And center back, layer, center back. There we go. I've got that, and that's probably a little bit too much on there. And I've got my 3 slides now. So I created that really quickly by copying and pasting from this. So now what I need to do is output these, and then I can put these images up as a carousel inside of Instagram. So let's call it free tips. I always like to name my slide, and I go page 1. Okay, that way I know what they're like. So then I copy this, copy into here, page 2, page 3, and page 4. So if you're not using the reel, you'll probably want to be using these as a carousel. So I can just output these. So I can go in, I can download, and I can go, I'm going to choose JPEG format, don't care about the animation, don't want animation in here, and I'm going to make sure all pages are selected, and I'm going to click download. So that's going to create for me a zip folder. So once that's downloaded, it's just going to download here, you're going to get your free images that you can download, you can upload to Instagram as a post. And there we have it. So there it is there. Let's just open this up. I'm going to double click this, and you're going to see that we have these images. So let me just throw these across into a folder so that it shows them. So it's just a zip file. Okay, and there we go, we have it, and we have them labeled, so P1, P2, P3, P4. So these are the carousel orders that I will place into Instagram when I upload it, if I want to do it as a carousel. Okay, if I want to use it as a video file, I can just use that video file with that background sound effect that we already had. And here it is here, here's the folder, free tips, CRM, course creators, marketing, and there we go, that we have our files. So we output these. So this is all about media creation, and we're talking about social media and Instagram this week. There's a lot more to cover on media creation, and I want to throw in a media creation Zenstream every now and again, because there's lots of really useful things for you guys to learn about. Let's have a look at this now. This is the final result. Top tips on marketing for course creators. Tip 1, tip 2, and tip 3, with a nice sound backing track that we can upload that to Instagram. And remember, because we set that square, hold on, because we set this up as square, then what it means is top tip that this will be beautifully cut out in here when we upload it to Instagram. Okay, now by the way, this same format could be used for things like TikTok. Okay, so you haven't got it, you can put it straight into TikTok as well. You can use it in there. You could use it in Twitter, you could use it on Facebook. You know, it's quite a flexible format that can be used. You can put it onto YouTube as a YouTube short as well. So these things are really good. Now do remember to pay attention to the time limits and things and the sizes for the different platforms. So this is a really important thing. So this brings us to the end of this media creation, in this particular case on creating social posts for Instagram. Any questions, raise them in the chat and I'm quite happy to answer. Well guys, so we've done quite a lot today in a short space of time. You can see how productive you can be when using Canva. So that is it for today. That's our Zenstream, showing you how to create stuff for Instagram, videos, putting audio tracks, putting backing tracks behind vocals, backing tracks, and how to create that still as well, all inside of Zenler. We've given you a free template that we were actually creating that as we went, and we've also given you an upload folder if you want to create some content that we'll put on our social channel. We'll put it on Instagram. Over 4,000 viewers there on Instagram, so you get your niche put out to all these people. Very good thing to do. So that'll close, that drive box will close on tomorrow, probably in the afternoon or something like that. So if you manage to watch this on a replay, produce something, put it in there. Okay, we'll get it in there, we'll tell you about it, and it will go on our social. So that's what's going to happen. So what's going to happen next week? What we're going to do next week, I'm not really sure at the moment. So maybe ask for it in here. If you're watching on replay and you've made it to the end, then maybe ask for the next subject. You know, could be anything. Well, as long as it's course related, Zenler related. Okay, not any subject, but just do that, guys. Great. I've got a really bad neck today, so I'm not hanging around too much longer because it's quite painful, but I will be as good as gold tomorrow, I'm sure. I've got the old balms, tiger balm on the back of my neck, on the painkillers, and it's all looking good. So guys, have a great rest of the weekend. Enjoy your morning, evening, afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Just say where you're from. Just do a hashtag replay, say where you're from, put your name in there. Take on the challenge that I've given you today. Try and create some sort of media, put it inside that drive folder, you know. Especially if you don't think you're going to do a good job, it's even more important, because, you know, if I see something and I think that you could make that better, or those sort of things, I will tell you. So you'll be getting some feedback, some critique on what you're doing as well. Okay, and also we're going to use it for our socials, so you're going to get your name out there. So it's a win-win-win on all sides. So guys, I really hope you've enjoyed this Zenstream. I shall see you next week with another one, and I should be more with it. I'm a bit slow today, so but I'll be fine. Okay guys, have a great weekend, what's left of it, and see you all very soon.